High school functions as a rigidly structured social ecosystem. Every hallway interaction, locker conversation, and cafeteria seating arrangement operates on a set of unspoken, highly specific rules. We map these rules onto an attractiveness pecking order, a pyramid where students rank themselves. Everyone occupies a tier based on perceived social value. Dating becomes a calculation. Two people linking on a middle tier creates an upward trajectory, boosting the couple to a higher rung. Occupying a high tier requires constant maintenance. It demands a non-stop performance, an endless cycle of analyzing peer opinions and curating a public image to ensure that hard-won position isn't lost. In an environment defined by these vertical rungs, a relationship acts as a stabilizer. It is a strategic mechanism for social survival, where the choice of a partner is often dictated by the need to secure or improve one's rank. Suzuki is a master of this environment. She's loud, trendy, and hyper-aware of the social landscape, comfortably holding a spot at the very top of the ladder. Then there is Tani. He is quiet, literal, and entirely unapologetic about who he is. He is also completely oblivious to the fact that a social ladder even exists. Returning to our diagram, Suzuki sits at the peak, but instead of connecting with another high-value node, she links with Tani, a node floating entirely outside the system. This pairing breaks the logic of the social economy, leaving their peers confused. It raises a question about the nature of attraction. Why would someone who has spent years mastering social awareness choose a partner who ignores the rules of social positioning entirely? Suzuki and Tani represent a structural anomaly. Their relationship works because it bypasses the sociological rules that govern the rest of their world. The answer lies in their internal psychology. While she appears confident, Suzuki identifies as a chronic people-pleaser. She spends her days masking intense social anxiety by trying to anticipate what others want from her. Her social status is the result of immense effort. She is like a mask held in place by dozens of taut strings, each one representing a different person's expectations that she feels she must meet to remain relevant. Tani is her psychological opposite. He lacks the filter required to project a false persona. He says exactly what he thinks and behaves the same way regardless of who is watching. Think of him as a boulder in a rushing river. The currents of peer pressure and social trends break against him, but they don't move him an inch. He operates entirely without the need for external validation. Suzuki didn't choose Tani to gain more social capital. She chose him because his immovable nature provides a sanctuary, an escape from the exhausting labor of curating her own identity. This difference in their mental operating systems creates a moment of friction in the school library. When Tani, busy with his duties, tells Suzuki to wait, her internal programming misinterprets the request. We can see the misfire in this data flow. Suzuki's brain, tuned to the social hierarchy, adds layers of imaginary subtext to his words. She assumes she's being a nuisance, spiraling into the belief she's failing a test she didn't know she was taking. For Tani, the message followed the straight line on top. He meant the library closes at 5. There was no hidden judgment or frustration. He was simply stating a logistical fact. They resolved this not through one person changing, but through direct communication. They acknowledge that they process the world on different frequencies, and they begin the work of translating those frequencies for each other. A connection between opposing psychological types relies on this translation. It isn't about merging into a single identity, but about understanding the unique language your partner uses to navigate reality. Their dynamic creates a shift in the people around them. Tita, a student who has built his entire personality around his social rank, watches the couple interact with a growing sense of discomfort. To an observer like Tita, the wake of the social ladder suddenly feels like a choice. His obsession with rank starts to look less like a necessity and more like a self-made prison, with the door finally beginning to swing open. This shift leads to a rare moment of vulnerability. Tita abandons his cynical, transactional view of his peers and offers Tani a genuine compliment, expecting nothing in return. This kind of authenticity serves as a quiet rebellion. It gives others the permission to drop their own masks and interact without constant pressure of a hidden social agenda. Suzuki describes her feelings through a personal coolness code. It is a framework that redefines attraction based on internal needs rather than external status. When the social pyramid dissolves, this is what remains. Attraction becomes a subjective metric. We are drawn to specific traits that complement our psychological gaps, forming a unique network of connections. This code requires a private vocabulary. When Suzuki calls Tani adorable, she isn't describing a physical trait. She is using a shorthand for the specific sense of peace she feels when she is around someone who doesn't demand a performance. People secure in their own identity don't shift their core values to match the crowd. They remain consistent, which in turn provides a stable foundation for those around them. The ultimate victory in a high school social economy is recognizing that the latter is optional. Stepping off it allows for a relationship built on a personal code rather than a public